It is Friday night. Robert on vocals, Phil on bass, I'm on drums, Bona on vibes. It is a pleasure to be with you on this Friday night, all getting settled down, all relaxing. Sad about Sadio. Sad about Sadio.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to start to manage my football life, if you like, where I don't get too attached to players. That has been the case really since Torres left. But I feel with Sadio, he was like Klopp's first big signing, wasn't he?
Yeah.
There's a lot of doubting about it. There's a lot of talk that it wasn't a good signing.
There was a lot of that.
There's a lot of talk about, why didn't Man United follow up their initial interest in him?
Why
There was talk about him not getting on with the manager, being streaky. I always remember a picture of him bizarrely where you could see that he was wearing bills from Next when he was playing footy, and I always thought, you can afford well better ones than them, mate. Come on. I don't reckon he's wearing Next bills now after all these years at Liverpool.
Upgraded to M&S now, has he?
Maybe.
Taking the next step.
Maybe. I mean, my mate at uni's thing on this was all his bills were from Ethel Austin's, except the ones he wore at the weekend in case he was lucky enough to meet someone, do you know what I mean?
Pragmatic, that is.
He'd lash some Calvins on for the weekend as though he always wore them. I don't know how we got here, mate.
I don't know how we got here. Friday night. I thought Emilia was on vibes.
But yeah, I mean, my favourite stat about him, which I've trotted out a million times, but it tells you what you want to know about Sadio, is that 4 out of the 6 seasons he scored over 20 goals, and you really can't knock that, because for all the idea that he's streaky, and look, he did go through phases where he wasn't as good as he can be and all the rest of it, but don't all players, but by and large absolutely brilliant for us, and I always did love the attitude of him.
Yeah.
The fact that he played like a little bit of a narc. And I can't even remember what game. Phil will remember. There was a game at Anfield where he was getting a bit of a booting, and he's on the floor, and the referee gives him the decision. And while he's sort of getting up from the floor, he did a come on to everyone, and I was so into it, because it was like, I've just been booted everywhere, and I finally got a free kick, and he oops,
yeah.
do you know what I mean? And like everyone, it really like raised the crowd. And I think he felt like one of them players that he loved the crowd, you know what I mean? He was lifted by the crowd, he played with energy and emotion. Boss fella.
Sad?
I'm very sad. Robert will do the football chat about Sadio better, but I'll just talk about how he's an inherently good person, and I love him. He's my favourite Liverpool player, and I'm devastated that he's gone, and I'm not over it, and I know I've had quite a while to come to terms with it now, but I still believe that maybe we just keep going, no, and then we'd hold him hostage against his own will for one more season.
Keep putting Sadio Mane in the programme.
Yeah. Well, look, you're playing this weekend. I just like if we'd kept him on terrible terms where he was very unhappy just for one more season. Obviously not, because he's a human with free will and he gets to do what he wants, but he's a good person, and I don't know, I feel like he over the last season and a bit has come out of his shell a bit more in terms of like the way you see him on social media, the way you see him interacting with the other players and engaging in the stuff that the club puts out. And I think maybe to some extent that's because he knew he'd made the decision and he'd come to terms with it and kind of made his peace with it, like he knew that it was over, and that's why he was maybe making the most of it and enjoying it, because he might have felt free on the basis that he'd made that decision. But he's just a good guy. Like, he built a hospital in Senegal, a maternity hospital in Senegal. He's a lovely person. He's a national hero. He's a Liverpool hero and a legend. And
I like how the loveliness is contrasted with, as Robert said before, and the
He can be
real
a total
gentility
shitters, yeah.
with the absolute narkiness
That's
of
what
him.
I love about
Plays
him.
like he's angry with the world. He's going to prove the world wrong,
Yeah.
when he speaks, he's so softly spoken and he seems kind.
Yeah, it's entirely focused on the pitch, and when that's over, he's just a lovely person. He's dead nice. We spoke to his imam at the Echo going back a few years now, and he was talking about how Sadio and Naby Keita and Mo had all helped kind of like people being more accepting of the Muslim faith and of Muslim people in Liverpool, because you had loads of lads waiting outside the mosque after Friday prayers to try and meet them, and then as a result they'd be speaking to other Muslim lads that were coming out for prayers, and it kind of helped people be like, we're all just sound and we all just like the football, really. But his imam showed me loads of photos of him just like going to Sadio's for like chicken and chips and some onion rings, which made me think, you're just a really nice normal lad in your next bills, just what I like.
I saw where he lived once, you know. I don't want to like get anyone in trouble here, so I'll have to be careful.
He's not going to live there for that much longer.
But he doesn't live there. He doesn't live there now. He moved. But what I was going to say about it was, when I saw where he lived, and like there was no one in where he had lived then, and I got a little sneak at it. Kind of thought, like, you know, it was behind all like Leckie gates, and it was somewhere. It was sort of in a location you wouldn't expect it to be, and you could walk past it easily enough and all that. And it sort of hit home, and I thought, like, that looks lonely, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alright, the Reds, thanks for watching a little bit of a premium Anfield Wrap video there. If you want to watch the rest of that show and get access to much more, click join below. That activates our YouTube membership. It means you get a premium video every day of the week. You get our post-match content, you get reviews, previews and exclusive interviews, all here from the heart of Liverpool. Follow us, follow them. Up the Reds.